Welcome to the BA Coaches Show, where we talk all things Nebraska sports all the time. Interviews, breakdowns, rants, and more. Expect it all from the Nebraska diehard, Coach Ben Audi. Make sure you click the like, subscribe, or follow button and enjoy this conversation about our beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Welcome to the BA Coaches Show. We're back after a little bit of a quick little hiatus, I guess. I needed time. I'll be real. I needed time. I was stressed over the bye week. I'm just very upset, and I didn't know what to say after the UCLA game. I was just kind of throwing my hands up, and I needed a little bit of a mental reset, but we're back. We're back, and what sucks is nothing changed. We lost another one-score game. We're going to get through it. Today on the BA Coaches Show, we have we're going to talk offense, defense, going to talk some clock management situation. We're going to do the BA breakdown and then get the heck out of here, right? But before we get into anything, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the BA Coaches Show on YouTube. We are at over 700 subscribers. Make sure you go check that out. Go check out characterchronicles.com. Go check out all the great Husker content on that page. And make sure every single Monday you check out the segment Monday Morning Husker Breakdown. Wow, that was really bad by me. That's a terrible plug. 8 a.m. on Mondays on 1620 The Zone. It also gets posted on Spotify and YouTube under Monday Morning Husker Breakdown. All right, let's talk some Husker football. That game against UCLA, what a bummer, man. I'll be real. It's a bummer to me that we're losing another one-score game. I think there are some positives to take from it, but it's just a crushing loss again. And I'll be real. I am growing more and more frustrated with decisions made in the program, right? And there are some positives to take, but before we get into it, I want to play a little clip for you guys from my segment on 1620 The Zone. I don't own this video or audio. I'm just playing it for you guys. It's all credit to Mornings with Sharp and Hanley, but I want you guys to check because here's some of my thoughts. You guys know I'm a huge Matt Rule fan, but the clock management situation is driving me bonkers. So I kind of want to play this clip for you.
What were your thoughts on the clock management on the last drive?
You
just got a dude there.
Okay. You guys know I've said this a lot on you guys know, you guys can back me up. I'm a huge Matt Rule fan. I very much love the guy. I have to say the clock management and timeout management this year has just absolutely baffled me. He references, the book says we need to do this. I would love to see this book that gets referenced sometime just because
True.
Everything that I've seen seemed to learn throughout my young coaching career. I'm a lot younger than Matt Rule, but I've never learned a lot of these things. Mm-hmm. And I think Saturday had a couple great examples of that, of me just being baffled and I just don't quite understand it sometimes. Just seems very disorganized at times. Nothing upsets me more than just wasted timeouts. That's just something that bothers me at any level of football. Like even high school level football, I get angry at wasted timeout. So I feel like we do that. The whole fake punt, that would seem very disorganized to me.
I agree.
I know he answered it in the way that, he probably, I don't know. I still think it was a very weird, disorganized way. And the biggest thing that I've kind of thought about through the last, I guess couple days since the game is I've thought, have we walked away from a game in the Matt Rule era and been like, our coaching staff won us that game? I say no. It's always been, in my opinion, it's always been the opposite of like, hey, there's been these coaching decisions that probably lost us that game. And that sucks because, like I said, you guys know I'm a huge Matt Rule fan, but the timeout and clock management absolutely baffles me. The first half situation with the whole runoff thing, I still think that was weird. I think that if you're – because I see the situation of people saying like, oh, here, trying to set up a block, trying to set up to block the kick. My counter to that would be is if you block the punt and you don't score on that, don't you still want time to go score again?
Yeah.
That's just my kind of, I guess, pushback to that. But it seems like overall this year and last year, the clock management has just been – I can't even say – it's just been baffling to me. I just don't understand it.
Ben?
Yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts. I wanted to play that for you guys and kind of to just kind of go further into that, why this is even more baffling to me. That's been my word of the last few days talking about Husker football is baffling is Matt Rule is like, we're planning all these games to go down to one possession, which we're going to discuss that too. But if all these games are going to be close, right? One possession, give us a shot to go win at the end. If that's the mentality we're taking, sure, that's fine. Here's my question for you, though. Why are we so bad at clock management and wasting timeouts then? Tell me. Tell me why we're so bad at wasting timeouts if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Just the entire clock management situation is insane to me. I don't quite understand. Like, Matt Rule is very much a like CEO type head coach for the most part, right? He doesn't call the offense. He doesn't call the defense. He's not super involved in the X's and O's, which is great. I think there's a lot of fantastic football coaches like that in the NFL and in college. But when you're not going to be involved in that, you have to be good at the game management part of it, right? That's the part that's bothering me is it's just been so bad. And it's been that since last year too. There were so many decisions last year that were just terrible. So I just don't quite get it. I'm not quite there. I just not understanding of it. So then let's get into this next part. I'm tired of this mentality of preparing for every game to be a one possession game with a shot at the end. I'm done with it. I'll be real. I'm done with it. I want to just line up there, and I want the game plan, and I want to play with an aggression of we're going to kick your ass all day. I'm sorry, man. And I'll be real. There's times coaching that we've even been in a situation where it's like, hey, our goal here is we want to keep it close late, and we're going to try and give ourselves a shot at the end. That's not every game, though. Like, that's not what you do. Like, I'll be real. At a place like Temple, probably makes sense. Just going to be real. It might make sense to do it at a place like Temple where when you're playing some of the bigger and better schools, you're going to want to keep the game close. When he took over Baylor, I know you guys think Nebraska is a dumpster fire right now. Baylor was in a real bad spot when he took over. Like, that was bad. Okay? Like, it was bad. That maybe made sense there. In the NFL, that's the NFL model. Like, every game you give yourself a shot at the end. That's pretty basic stuff. At Nebraska, I think it could work in times. I think when you're playing against a team like Ohio State, where on paper you're outmatched, I don't think I'm breaking news or kind of being crazy there. On paper, we're outmatched. I understand the idea of, hey, we're going to try and keep it a one-score game late. Let's give ourselves a shot with the ball to go score and go tie it or win it. Totally understand that. That's the game plan against USC. That's, been falling apart. That's a game plan against 2-win UCLA. That's the game plan against Illinois. I understand Illinois is not bad. I agree with you. I'm just saying, but that's the plan. The plan isn't we're going to go out there and beat their ass. The plan is, hey, we're going to keep it close. We want it to be a one-score game. I don't like it at all. I actually am growing very annoyed with it. Very annoyed with it. And you guys know I love Matt Rule. Yesterday, the day after the loss, I still wore my "In Rule We Trust" shirt. I did. But just not feeling it, man. Things are not going well. And this one score mentality thing, and I just can't figure out a lot of the decisions made. But let's just get into the offense. Offensively, I actually feel like we took some steps forward. I do. I feel like we took some good steps, genuinely. Are there some things that still very much need cleaned up? Yeah. We can't fix it all, but like we saw some good concepts. You'll see it in the breakdown. Something that I think that Dana Holgerson did fantastically. And this is going to be my Air Raid 101 isn't throw the ball all the time. I'm tired of the people. I'm not tired. I don't really care what you guys do, but I'm just the people who spout acting like they know football. Air Raid is not like the Mike Leach mentality of where Mike Leach said, yeah, I didn't call a run play that whole game. The only runs we had were a quarterback checked into. Like, that's not Air Raid, right? Like Air Raid 101. It's the passing concepts, and you're making your job easy on the quarterback. The reads for the quarterback are super easy in the air raid. And I feel like where Dylan had success on Saturday was these quick concepts coming, things that we hadn't really seen a ton of yet. Where Dylan continues to struggle is the passes and the concepts that take longer to develop. And it's a little bit of a tougher read. You're reading that high safety now as opposed to the corner or the linebacker. It's a longer developing play. I think he's still struggling with that. But I do think it can be fixed. I don't think Dylan's broken for good. But I fear that this season through the last 2 games may be what it is. I think it is what it is at this point. I think the offense that we had been running did too much damage. It is what it is. I really love the Dana Holgerson move. We haven't talked since that happened, I guess, since I took a week off from this show. I think the Dana Holgerson move was good. I think long-term it has a lot of potential. I do think there were some other names that maybe we could have gotten, but I'm not going to downgrade this. Dana Holgerson is a very accomplished offensive mind. He's a great offensive mind. There's no denying that. If you think that we could have went and got a better offensive mind than him, I don't know what to tell you. Where I have questions is maybe the schematic fit, just because I think if we follow his philosophy, it would be good. Because he has a lot of good things. It's just the exact opposite of Matt Rule, if that makes sense. But the other thing that Dana Holgerson did that I think he did a fantastic job of is getting the ball to his playmakers. Right? Sometimes it's about the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's. Dana Holgerson did something that a lot of coaches do is he was creative in how he got the playmakers the ball. The players that he really likes, I'm going to be creative getting you the ball. Loved it. Seriously, not BSing you. I absolutely loved it. I continue to love it. That is a fantastic move, and I hope we see that going forward. I really do. Thought Jamal Banks played a lot better of a game. I shout him out in the BA breakdown we're going to get here at the end of the show. I think there's a lot of good things from the offense. Now, are they good? No, they're still not great, right? They only themselves take out the pick 6. They had 13 points. No, red zone offense is still bad. Still bad. I thought that would get better, and it didn't. So I'm not trying to hype up this offense is absolutely insane, but I think in aspects of the operation, they looked a lot better. Defensively, okay, it's time to have this talk. We've already came to the conclusion this Nebraska defense is not elite. I said they're very good. I don't think they're very good. I think they might just be good or above average. I'll be real. That was not a good performance. They just cannot get off the field. They can't get off the field, and it is frustrating to no end. There seems to be no killer instinct right now on this defense. So you remember after the Rutgers game when I was super praiseful of the defense and was talking about how they're playing on an instinctual level, and that's gone to me. And I feel like our coaching staff isn't helping the players are screwing up. Huge. If Matt Rule's calling you out at a press conference, that means, hey, something's bad with the players. But I mean this with all the respect in the world. I said this on Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. I mean this with all the respect in the world. Malcolm Hartsock. Love that guy. Really do. Genuinely love that guy. Why is he covering a 6'4", 6'5" corner on an island or wide receiver on an island? Why is he the outside corner doing that? Like, we're not helping ourselves at all. At all. And the defense just doesn't have that same mentality that they had last year. I have another clip I want to play for you guys from Mornings with Sharp and Hanley where I was talking about this because I'm curious as to where this decision was made to go this route. Because as we've talked about a lot on this thing, they've ran more cover 2 in match quarters. Now, they still are running cover 1 and cover 3, but it's not nearly as much as they did last year. And I don't know why, and I don't love why. So I want to play this little clip for you guys.
Thought they were.
Is that because they changed defenses in the offseason? More quarters coverage?
I think so.
Less attacking?
I think so. That's something that I can't remember if I've ever mentioned it on here. I'm sure I've probably mentioned it in passing. I've not been a fan of that. At times this year, it seemed to work good that we ran a lot more quarters in cover 2. But in my opinion, like that's not what got us, a great unit last year. And I understand maybe the philosophy of wanting to change it, but also I don't know. I'm very interested to see that if we don't make the DB coaching change, if that still happens. And the reason I say that is because when you look at what John Butler came from, he came from a lot of cover 2 quarters coverage, right? That's just a lot of the defenses that he's ran. So I wonder, I wonder when the plan was to switch to that, if that makes sense. Because
yeah, that was just kind of a little observation I've had is when was that decision made to go to more cover 2? And Matt Rule gave a fairly decent explanation as to why he wanted to make that switch. But if Evan Cooper was still here, no matter what happened with Evan, I'm not going into all that. But I'm saying if he was still here, I think the DB plays better. And I think John Butler is a great defensive coach. I do. I'm not taking shots at him. I don't know if it's a fit here. And I said it wasn't a fit here, and people told me I was crazy. I'm not sure it's not a fit, but I don't think it's just a shoe-in. Oh, this guy's the next DC. Oh, this guy's this. And I said this. I should have had a clip of me saying this in July because I got called crazy by a lot of people. I don't think it's a shoe-in just because he's not a fit for what Rule had done and had success with. Now, I'll say Rule's doing this and it's not really a fit for him. It's not working. It's not working. There's games this year like Purdue. They ran Tampa 2 quite a bit, and they ran it very well. They did a great job running Tampa 2. Some of those plays are textbook. This is how you teach it. Other times, it's looked terrible. So I'm just not a fan of the defense right now. Linebackers are playing well. Defensive line's playing okay, but they're just not able to get the sacks that we need. I think we had 1 sack and 3 or 4 TFLs. And I know TFLs aren't all on them, but here's the thing. The weakness of this team are the DBs, 100%, right? The key to beating Nebraska right now is to keep your quarterback up. I'm being for real. If Nebraska has a few sacks on you, you're going to be in trouble. If you can limit yourself to 0 or 1 sacks, you're in good. If you can handle the D-line. The reason is the DBs aren't good enough. There is 0 communication in the back end, man. It's driving me nuts. We are seeing wide open receivers. And that is dang near specifically coming from just 0 communication or guys running the wrong defense. That's what Rule said in his press conference, man. We got guys running the wrong defense. So then my question becomes, why are they still on the field? You know what I mean? Why are they on the field if they're not making the right plays? If they're running the wrong defense, why are they on the field? Rule seems to have a very strict, he's going to rock with these older guys, and hey, we'll see if it pays off. I wonder about the development. I wonder if this is really the right move right now. But who am I to question Matt Rule? So last thing I want to get into before we get into the B8 breakdown, special teams. Okay. Special teams as a full unit are getting better-ish, right? They're getting better. Now, do we probably still need a big change? Yeah, probably. We probably still need a change there. But field goal unit made a what? Field goal unit's getting better, right? Field goal unit's getting better. I don't know. I'm trying to grasp at straws here. Field goal unit made a couple kicks. What's driving me bonkers, guys? Okay, this is going to be the last little frustration before we get into the BA breakdown. Is the returners. Put your heels on the 10. Anything that goes past you, you don't catch. That is football 101. In high school, we tell them the 15 because you're not going to get the same backspin and whatnot. Like, just high school punters generally are less talented, right? So we tell our high schoolers get on the 15, but college, put your heels on the 10. Why are we fair catching balls with the 4? That is atrocious. And I understand the sentiment, and I kind of agree with it. I actually agree with it for the most part of we shouldn't have to tell the players not to do that because everyone knows that. Agreed. However, all season long, we're seeing that this team makes stupid plays on special teams. We need to be reinforcing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your job on this punt return? This situation, we're not feeling anything past the 10. Simple. So, yeah, maybe that doesn't need to be said. But with this unit, they've shown all year you got to coach it up, and it's not being coached up. So we're going to get into the BA breakdown. Then we're going to get out of here, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you check out the BA breakdown to finish. Go check out nbnrpodcast.com. Go to Red Zone Reflections. Go to the blog. This video right here is going to come out on Tuesday. There will be a blog out on Wednesday before the No Block, No Rock show. It's kind of talking about what we got to do to get to a bowl game. Like I said, go check out characterchronicles.com. Go check out all the great Husker content on that channel. And let's get into this BA breakdown, guys. As always, GBR and in rule, we trust. All right, guys, it was kind of hard to find some good offensive highlights to show. Not necessarily because the offense was terrible. Wasn't great. It was just hard to find a good play to break down. So I got 2 quick ones for you, kind of back to back, just because I want to showcase some things with Dana Holgorsen that he did, because I think one of the biggest things that Dana Holgorsen is doing in this offense is he is going to get the ball to the players that he likes and be creative in ways we get them the ball. That's kind of some air raid coaching 101. That's honestly how we should be doing a lot of things, but just kind of wanted to showcase some of that. So first thing we got to point out here is he decides he saw something in film and practice, whatever, that wants Bonner to get the ball more. I am all for that. 100% all for Bonner getting the ball more. Offensive line does a good job kind of creating the wall here, just trying to get those D linemen upfield. It's going to be a super big breakdown. Just kind of wanted to show some things because, one, we want to get Bonner the ball out here. I also want to point out we've been giving perimeter blocking a whole bunch of credit, whole bunch of flack, particularly Jamal Banks. I want to give him credit here because, hey, that was pretty good. I know that he kind of lets the guy free, but he doesn't really make the play. He did a job. He slowed that guy down just enough. He slowed that guy down just enough to make that play. So that was really good. And I got another play I would like to show you guys. Because, kind of going off of what I just said with we want to get our playmakers the ball in creative ways. Sometimes it's about the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's. We want to get our guys the ball. The other huge staple of the air raid, which some people are a little misinformed about, and that's okay. The air raid for the offense, one of the biggest staples of the offense isn't necessarily throwing the ball 100 times a game, right? It's going to be making the job of the quarterback super easy, super simple reads. And we see that here on this play. This is already some shades of kind of new things from the air raid, adding some new wrinkles here. Okay, so we got the drag route coming across. It's supposed to kind of create a rub. I think the first read coming off, just looking at eyes here, obviously you're going to have a whole shot, but that's not there. I think we're kind of looking here, trying to get the ball. but they do a good job staying flat. So I think we had two options here. Based on what this player's doing right here, if he was moving, he wasn't flat-footed, I think the plan is to hit Jamal Banks sitting right here. I think that's probably the check down. But since we got flat-footed and the guy we really want to get the ball to, Emmett Johnson, again, creative ways to get your playmakers the ball. Hits it to him in stride because that guy, when he's standing flat-footed, he just can't get there in time. See, he tries to reroute Fedoni. Good job, but then he's just not quick enough to get there in time. And now it's off to the races. And this was a great play. I think we already saw some good shades of Dana Holgerson. It was kind of a little bit of a mesh concept. You don't really see this very much because they didn't quite match up the way you would on mesh. But I do like this drag coming and then the running back coming from the inside. You just don't see that very much. And again, creative ways to get your playmaker the ball. It's a little bit of a mesh concept, but play those for you guys in full speed, and hopefully you guys see some of these things. And offense, okay, there's shades. There's something there. I'm not going to say it was great, but there's something there. Boom, right out of the backfield. I love that play. That was really good. All right, so we're going to double up on some defense as well. Not good, man. Okay, first thing I want to point out right away is, hold on, sorry. We're in our four-man front, right? Jack linebacker walked up, 3 down linemen. We are in zone. The way you can tell we're in zone here is we're not running with them. We're just pushing everyone off. And then at the snap of the ball, everyone's eyes are in here at the quarterback, right? Everyone. I got to say, Malcolm Hart. So we're in cover 3. Malcolm Hartzog. Holy cow. If Mayava would have just thrown this ball, we'd be in some serious trouble because Hartzog got burnt. So we're in zone. Just kind of wanted to point that out for you guys if you guys aren't, able to tell. Kind of look at the rotation and the eyes. Okay, Hartzog is at least going to get back there. Man, this was so close to being a sack. I hate to because this was – come on, we got to just make it. We just got to make it. Put all your weight into it. We just can't be reaching. I know it's much easier to say sitting here on my couch. I'm just saying. I feel like that's a play we got to make. I got to point this out. I hate to pick on Tommy Hill because I know he's battling through injuries. Okay? I do. I hate to pick on him. But to me, this isn't kind of an injury situation. How's he behind you? How is he behind you? I know Rule made some comments in this press conference on Monday, a few hours before I'm recording this. He made a comment about secondary not playing well. This is one of these plays. Again, I hate to pick on him because of injury, but he can't get behind you like that, man. He just can't. I'm sorry. He can't get behind you on that play. That's 101. You don't have anyone. I know Gifford's right there. Gifford's supposed to be taking this middle of the field, and he can kind of drift depending on the routes. But, man, that's a heck of a play by number 2. He had a heck of a game, but it's ridiculous. Then the second play I want to show you is kind of an effort thing to me. And, again, I know battling injuries, I get it. But if this is the best effort we can get on the field – then this is bad. Because we schemed this well. Play action. They're going to throw the bubble screen. We have the numbers. We do. We have the numbers. Gifford does a great job taking this lead block on to give us exactly what you want. When you're talking about defending this bubble screen right here, this is exactly how we'd want it. We'd want the safety to take on the block in the corner. It's kind of a crack block coming in. This is how we want it. This is the situation. We should be making that play at the 6, maybe the 5, but instead it's kind of the Matador Olay type of behavior here, right? Again, I know we're battling injury, but man, we got to make that play. We just got to make that play. It is what it is. I'll play it for you guys in full speed, but yeah, that's going to be the BA breakdown this week. Just it's tough to find some highlights because especially defensively. We just couldn't get off the field at points, man. That was a heck of a play. We just can't let them get behind, though. That's the problem. Just can't let them get behind. And then the second one's the one that really gets me. Just frustration. Yep.